Why?
What and what not to say.
Come
Your
on.
channel, what and what not to say.
Come on, man. Ande, wala.
Honest,
There is no restriction to this channel. Sabi ko nga, this is going to be as free as it should be. Kasi yun naman talaga dapat. Ay, isa lang naman rule ko talaga, bro. Just speak truth. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Speak your truth. Pero, sige, let's begin with ano. Alright, so we're back. Welcome back to another episode of the Ground Up Show. I'm your host, Ryan, or Bossing. Wala ngayon si Gabe. My co-host is actually, I don't know, somewhere out there. So, here today is another interesting episode. And we're gonna have here Darrel Belzar. Pakilala ka naman, bro.
Hi, I am Darrel Belzar. I am one of Ryan's childhood friends. We grew up together since grade school.
Yes, sir.
Or since babies. I don't know.
Yep.
So, ayun. I grew up in Oman, same as Ryan. I've been there for 16 years and I came here to Oman for college. Yeah, that's just about it.
Nice. And nga pala, if you don't mind, bro, if we can speak mostly, in English kasi. I mean, if it's okay kasi we have some few audiences in the United States, and actually this is going to be since it's a podcast,
All right.
it's going to be in MP3, so we could upload it and people can listen and relate to what's our current situation and stuff like that. So I think bihasa ka naman with English, so we could speak freely, I guess. Pero if there are some terms, some terms na gusto mo sabihin in Tagalog, no problem.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's been a while, dude. Like, kamusta? Like, how are your things?
Well, I'm a student, so like things are kind of stuck for me. So I'm kind of stuck in school.
Sorry,
for a few months.
Can you remind me what subject again? Sorry, what course again? Forgot.
Well, I'm currently taking marketing, and I'm in my 4th year.
Damn, marketing, dude, my guy.
Yeah.
So like marketing since 2013? Tama ba? Or
No,
did you shift?
Marketing. I did shift.
Uh-huh.
I shift when we met.
Right.
2017.
Right.
Last time we met
Right.
in person.
And
yeah.
why did you shift exactly? And how did that transition help you?
Well, my last sem was a disaster. So like we had a rule in engineering. I was an engineering major, computer engineering. So like in my last sem, I failed like 3 subjects in 1 sem. So the school asked me if I want to shift or I will be under probation. I will be forced to take fewer subjects to continue my course.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to myself, I think I'm not happy with where I am now as an engineering student. Because in engineering, failing is normal, at least 1 subject.
Mm-hmm.
But in my case, I failed 3 out of 6, so it's like half of the total units I took. So yeah, I said I'm not happy with this course. I had to shift somewhere else and see if I have an advantage in this course after I graduate. So I took marketing because I'm pretty sure like I had small business background with my aunt, my family. We used to do catering business, right, in Oman. So
Antinona.
Antinona.
Right.
I feel like I had an advantage there. So and in the future, I might take over some the business in the province. Here's Eastern Samar in the Philippines.
So you're in Eastern Samar, right?
So right now I'm in Bulacan.
Bulacan.
Bulacan, yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So my family, father's side, Antinona side.
Mm.
By the way, guys, my aunt and my father are in Oman, together with my mom. So like they do their, that's where they work, uh, and
Kamus-
they usually make a living.
how are they?
Oman.
Like, how are they holding up in Oman?
Luckily, they are in a good place. They're
That's good.
stable. Yeah, they're stable. Uh, Even though it is we are in the middle of a pandemic, we're lucky that uh, my family is in a stable situation. So,
Tama, tama,
just so you
tama.
know.
Yeah, and it's been a very quite interesting ride. If you can, lalo na with that transition that you had with college and shifting from engineering to marketing. Now that's
Yeah, it's a
right.
big leap.
It's a big
Big leap.
leap, definitely, and it's not a leap that you won't even think about, right? So why marketing? Like I know you have a background, and do you feel like it's something that you're looking far in the future, like it's going to be a career or something? Is it?
Well,
I guess my question would be: is it truly what you wanted? You know, because sometimes we could be pressured by our parents. Just because you have the business,
yeah.
right? So yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. I before I shifted, I had a mini reflection. So I
Mm.
said like I went through a SWOT analysis of myself. SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses,
Correct. Opportunities and
strengths,
threats. Uh-huh.
opportunities, and threats. So
Right.
so I made a mini SWOT analysis of myself. So I just kind of list down my my strengths, weaknesses, and etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like when I see the final result, uh, uh, I became more confident that I should take this course because one, I'm a little bit of a an outgoing person, uh, not in a not too active, but I can deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to them. I can break down what they actually want out of the interaction, and usually it's a psychology thing and a personal and a person-to-person thing. So that's what I have discovered. So that's basically marketing, mostly people,
Right.
people
So
business.
you wanted to interact with as many people as you can, and you think that
Yeah,
you have a great advantage in trying to interact with different people and stuff like that. And
yeah,
yes, I do believe that it's been a while, pero alam ko nandiyan pa rin sa'yo yung pagiging friendly mo, and you wanted to still not really. I think before, back in high school, we were those kids who really don't care with how people perceive us, and we were really lucky to have
yeah.
been growing up in that kind of situation where paano ba? Kasi most of
Just
people would
judgmental.
be, yeah, exactly. So parang just because we're not part of the cool kids, kumbaga sinasabi nila, it doesn't mean that we don't have anything to offer in the table. Pero I guess it's
Yes.
somewhat interesting that we could use that, sabi mo, as a strength into a career, convert it into
Yeah,
something that's bigger than what we think of. Pero anyway, let's just try to back a bit. So back up a bit. Sorry. So sinabi mo nag-marketing ka, and then I feel like okay, you feel like this is the field for you. This is it. So, and then of course trying to look back with the past that you didn't quite really. Ano ba? You've not really been lucky with engineering, and I really
yeah,
resonated with how you felt that time because sabi ko ako rin nag-engineering din ako, and then I tried to take up courses and stuff like that, and then it ended up it didn't work for me, so I have to change up a bit, and to be honest, I've been in that phase of my life where everyone was just trying graduating, and then I feel like I've been left behind, and it was really a painful stage. It led me to a stage where I tried to find myself in a depressive state to cope up with gaming, and so I've been
yeah,
overnighting mga ganun na panahon. So at that time I tried to play as much as I can to distract myself into the reality that where I'm in. So I've been, if in your case you were failing 50% of your classes, I was failing 90% of my classes. So the only subjects that I was passing were, the things that were interesting to me. So just like, say for example, PE. So I love really, or NSTP, something that is really basic, something like that, or theology, something like that. Mhm. Yeah. So it's just that. Yeah, you were about to say something.
Uh, those minor subjects that you mentioned, those were one of the best subjects during my engineering days.
Right.
STP, yeah. We have created a lot of memories. Well, same in major subjects. We had our share of fun, but it wasn't as impactful as the other subjects compared to other subjects per se. So yeah, I think that's my case.
Right. Quit. I'm just. I forgot to ask. Why did you choose engineering in the first place? Like, what inspired your? What was your? How do you say?
What's behind my decision?
Right. Right.
Well, I can say it's not really 100% parents,
Uh huh.
pero parents played a big part in the decision. One thing for sure is it was influenced by family, friends, not really directly influenced. Let's see. Our our family friends had a lot of them had a engineering background, technical courses, accounting, engineering, well, mostly engineering. I'm pretty sure you can relate
Yep.
to that. So, like, my parents have seen the benefits of being just an engineer in Oman, because your benefits are compared to them are higher, and you can definitely say that you're in a secure you'll be in a secure life for sure. Well,
Right.
so that played the big factor.
Right. Definitely.
You-
And your parents are
you-
engineers too, right? And they
No, no,
had
no.
a.
My mom.
Yeah, I forgot what was the occupation of your parents. Can you enlighten me again? I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, my mom is a research coordinator.
Right.
So, yeah, slightly related to marketing, because marketing is a lot of research. That's also one thing why I like marketing, because of the technical analysis, the statistics behind uh, behind the data.
Hmm.
When you gather data and stuff, do surveys. So yeah, that's the fun part in marketing.
Right. And
And for my
okay. Right. I just remembered
and
your
for
your
my-
mother was a
yeah.
part of the school of board of directors, right? Back in what, 2012,
Yeah,
2011?
something like that.
Right. And I
2 years.
yeah, somewhat like that. Yeah, so anyway, you were talking about your father was work. Yeah.
Well, before 2018, he was a what do you call this? A purchase officer. He buys equipment for the company, so or anything that the company buys goes to him. He sign the papers, he lists them. So yeah, basically that's it.
Right. So all of this are really intertwined with how you chose engineering and then led to a B. No, I mean from engineering to marketing, right? So all of this is an influence of our motivation was your primarily was your relatives and stuff like that. And I can truly relate and resonate to what you're trying to say, because when I chose engineering before, there wasn't really any pressure at all. I didn't even ask. They were like, so what are you gonna pick? I don't even know. I just went to university and just which course. I just went into the university and then I was like, okay, which course should I pick? And then there were like 7 booths. So there's School of Natural Sciences, Engineering, and Architecture. There is computer information technology, right? So, and then there's HRM and all of those other schools, and I was like, maybe I should choose, I don't know, maybe I should this engineering, because I think I could try to finish something that my father didn't, which is
Yeah.
right. So if you know,
Engineering,
right,
automotive.
right. So my father for a very long time has been known to be a mechanic in the I don't know, Filipino community in Oman.
Yes.
And
definitely. Yeah.
right, so we grew up to be in the greases, growing up in the garage. I tried to I don't know, maybe understand the inner workings of the machines and stuff like that. And I really saw a business side to it, since it's a career wherein people could grow their own skills by trying to service other people and stuff like that. So maybe I should just try it. And then there wasn't really any pressure at all. And that's the thing though, trying to pick a course in the beginning of a college semester is really
College career. Yeah.
it's a very tough decision if you come to think of it. And it's a really interesting how you transition from engineering to marketing. But right now, so since you said you're a fourth year, marketing, and then this whole fucked up shit happened. How did that?
Yeah.
Can you go through the process, and how do you stop and during this whole pandemic?
How do I cope up?
Yeah.
Is what you're asking?
No. I mean, like, since the education stopped, like, how did that affect your, your fourth years or last semester? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kind of affected, but my school was kind enough to give students some time to pass their final requirements, and I guess it made it easy for students to pass their subjects last semester. So it wasn't that it's fine. It's just like any other school.
Right.
They give consideration to their students.
Lucky for you, right? So the whole pandemic started around mid-March or beginning of March, I guess, right? So
The lockdown.
the lockdown, right? So when all of the shit turned down, and where were you at that time? Were you still at the same place that where you are right now?
Well, funny thing, before the lockdown, like a day
Uh-huh.
or hours before lockdown, it was a weekend.
Hmm?
So I was at my friend's house, and during the time we know that there was a holiday coming the following week. So me and my friends, we planned to stay at a friend's house in North Bulacan,
Mhm.
in San Ildefonso. So we stayed there for like 3 days, and then the second day, that's when the government
Issued declared.
a lockdown.
Correct. Yeah.
Declared a lockdown following day or 2 days after that
Right.
time. So like I was scared because we were really far. We were really far from home,
Yeah.
far from Metro Manila. So the possibility of the lockdown is really near and uncertain,
Mhm.
because one thing is not all buses, maybe most public transportation might stop
Yeah.
operation, and I will be stuck,
Right.
and I don't know how to go home because public transportation has been stopped in operation.
Right.
So we were having fun. We were drinking for like almost 3 days. Well, 3 days to be, and it was the best experience of my college life. One of the best. Staying at a friend's house for 3 days, no parents, no restrictions, yeah, all fun. But then the pandemic came, the lockdown came, so we had to cut the fun part.
Yeah.
We had to go home. So yeah.
Right. So it's really strange to be, if you're having to deal with the circumstances that you were at that time, you were so afraid of being stranded that you end up, just oh, fuck life, man. Just enjoy what you are and where you are right now, right? And just enjoy and stuff like that. And I think you had the better
We
part
had
of your,
like
huh?
so we had like 2 days of allowance at least, or a
Right.
few hours to be precise, 2 hours because
Damn, 2 hours.
during the time not 2 hours. Let's see. Because that time it was the last 6 hours of
Ah, I see.
strict lockdown.
Right, right.
So I was still in Bulacan because 12 midnight it was the lockdown. So we had to go home. So it was scary. It was scary because yeah, people had to rush to go to their provinces, and a lot of people were going home.
Right.
It was a little bit crowded in the bus.
Things were going crazy and you're trying to find your way back home. Right, so at least you had fun, right? Before the whole shit went down.
Yeah.
And it's really
What's
great
funny
to be
is-
friend. Yeah?
Yeah, and what's funny is like my stop is in SM North. SM North is a mall, diba?
Mm.
Have you been there?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's big. So when the bus stopped at SM North,
Hmm.
when I went down the bus, it was like a zombie apocalypse.
Shit. I could imagine, right? Oh, fuck.
It's worse than Friday afternoon in
Right.
SM North. It's worse.
Yeah, it feels like
People were rushing. to go
Right.
home.
feels like the world is ending, right? So you never seen that kind of scenario ever in your life, and then when you were there that time, you didn't know what to do, right? So you just stuck,
Yeah.
right? How did you go? How did
Oh,
you
like-
from that place? How did you go home? With that yeah.
Lucky, let's see. The queue on where my the queue in the FX was short.
Mm.
Well, I was lucky. I was lucky to be at that time, at the right time.
Mhm.
With it.
Right.
So the queue was short, and I was able to go home as early as possible.
Great.
So yeah,
Sounds really
it was,
amazing.
not too hassle, I can say.
Yeah.
It was just a bad experience because seeing the terminal of SM North
Full.
filled with
Right.
thousands of people.
Right.
You can say thousands.
Right.
Thousands na because bus stops full, FX full, except my ride. So
Mhm.
yeah,
It's very fortunate,
it-
right? If you come to think of it, like you get to ride at that time, and you didn't have so much, as you said, hustle, and really interesting how you get over and get home safe. So that's very important. It's really important where at this kinds of time we still have to remember our place in the society. Like we're a civilized people, and it's really easy for people to just go raging on one another. Like say for example the things that are happening in the United States, right? So we have lootings and from
yeah.
this so-called peace protests that they're calling, and it's a really interesting discussion where we could talk about when could this pandemic end. Maybe not really just predicting, but more like trying to comprehend how much or how long can we go up until we go to that phase wherein it's going to be an apocalyptic era wherein we're just going to kill our neighbors, just to get our food stuff. And I think we're quite into this kinds of things, right? Since we're gamers, maybe we have been into this kinds of ideas. And what do you think?
The what if?
Right, 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 right.
Well, I'm hoping that we don't reach to that scenario, but yeah, it would be hard
Right.
if it happened. I wish it won't.
If those things so happen though, where would you be? Like where would you want to be? Would you choose to be here, or would you go to isolated?
Isolated. Yeah.
Man, I would definitely choose to be in Oman. Of all the places in the world, I'd really be there if things go down. Like, damn.
Yeah. Oman is an ideal place, but since you will be saying apocalypse, what kind of apocalypse?
Like, of course, there's no more civil. Like, the law doesn't apply to anyone at all. Right.
Is it war, zombie, or just
Not really. It's like more of survival game wherein the stocks, food supplies are cut off. There would be no more. Police officers would be not really governing or overseeing everything, the process and stuff like that, because the prisons are too full for more criminals, and the law is just too slow to even process those kinds of things. So, yeah, it's just an interesting question, I guess. So yeah, it does make sense when you say that. When you say Oman is not quite a good place if you come to think of it, right? So if everyone's going to be crazy,
it's close to a war zone,
Yeah.
potential war zone.
right?
What's next? So, in my opinion, I would say Europe somewhere, Switzerland maybe.
Oh, New Zealand,
Or, Switzerland.
right? But yeah, Switzerland is still okay, I guess. But yeah,
Somewhere isolated. Yeah,
Right,
you can
right.
say New Zealand. Just far, far south.
Right.
Where,
where people are not crowded.
far away from neighbors.
Right.
Far away from neighbors. So that would be an ideal place.
Definitely. Anyway, that was that was really fun. Oh damn. Anyway, so
You would,
you were saying like a while ago, you were telling us a story about you were having a fun drinking with your friends and stuff. It's nothing like, I think it's one of the best things to have when you're in the middle of a pandemic, having friends, right? So having someone to drink with and have fun
in
with,
the middle.
right?
Not really in the middle though.
Right.
But, yeah, it's fun. We've been planning it for days
Mhm.
before the pandemic,
Uh-huh.
and it was, and the good part is it was immediate. It's like one day plan,
Hmm.
and then following day execution.
Nice. That's the problem though.
It's
With most of our our planned trips is not happening because we overplan things, and then if you don't plan, the event happens. Anyway, you were saying?
let's see. The problem there was you planned too early.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was like impulse, the plan will definitely
Right, definitely. So as much as you don't want to plan, you still need to plan, right? So there's always an in between with everything, and that's really interesting.
and the timing. Timing should
Correct,
be, like,
timing. So you
very
have to check your schedules, and if you have some deadlines to meet and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a really interesting phenomenon for every people or every friend groups or whatever, social dynamics and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll just, can you tell me a little bit about the whole college life? Like, is there anything that you learned that you wanted to, share maybe, I guess, to our audiences?
Well, on my second semester of engineering, I went regular,
Right.
and it is one of the best decision, best setup I could ever had, because once excuse me, once you're an irregular, you can meet a lot of people.
Definitely.
You don't get stuck on the same
Block.
same block
Right.
with your friends. You're open to different kinds of people from different courses, and yeah,
You
that's
meet-
one thing.
That's
One
one
about being
thing.
an irregular.
I see you smiling about there. I can see how I see what you did there. I mean, right. So I do believe when you can meet different types of people, you're not stuck with the same course or group like engineering, right? So you get to meet different school. Different students from different schools.
From different
Right.
environments.
And there you meet some few girls as well, and I know you're quite interested in some of course we're at that kind of our phase of life wherein we're trying to establish some social connections with different people. And can you walk me through maybe some of your relationships that you had?
Romance.
Well, anything, maybe. Could be romance would be a better topic, I guess.
Well, to be honest, since high school, I never had a girlfriend. I mean, since birth, I never had
Great.
a girlfriend.
That's good news, bro.
No,
What do you
you're supposed
mean?
to have. Come on, it's college, bro.
Come on. Okay, so that's a very interesting topic. Okay, why? Can you tell me why? Is it a prerequisite that you have to when you go to college? Is it a thing that you should have to have a position in the social ladder? Right. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, no, it does. That's one of the biggest reasons why.
Right.
Because going on a date with the girl, it requires some resources. Some, but
Like.
once you get in with the girl, you're already vibes with her, and you're a potential mate, and you had already labels.
Uh huh.
Uh, in the long run, you will eventually spend a lot of money.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
In this relationship,
Right.
you need money.
Right.
And I just said to myself, like, me, I usually go to parties and drink with friends. So I spend money
Mm-hmm.
drinking. So, like, if I had a relationship with a girl, so, like, my allowance would be...
Don't worry, bro. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm vibing with you. Yeah, and I get what you're trying to say that you need some few requirements. So, for example, one is of course, how do we say this? Physical looks, of course. You know, we have to have the symmetry and stuff like that. And it's really interesting how social have dictated the requirements of this kind of social dynamics that we're having. So, say for example, you were saying that you need to, right? So you need to have a relationship to form an establishment that you are an important person in society, and it shouldn't be like that, right? So you shouldn't be defined by how much money you have, right? So the value of a person should not be defined by the money that he has, right? Or the face that he has, right? So if you can see,
Yeah,
right, does that make sense, right? It makes sense, right?
it does, it does.
Right.
But I've been with the, let's see, flings.
Ah, yeah, of course.
I have flings, of course,
Mhm.
but if you break it down, if you really want a long-term relationship, you eventually will spend. And there are some sacrifices that I don't want to make, like drinking with friends.
Uh huh.
So like I want to stay in that lifestyle for a bit.
Right.
So that's what I wanted.
Right. So it's a very interesting.
And girls are there naman. So like
Right. Definitely, and especially when you're a college student, you're going through a difficult process of trying to find your place in the society, and when you're in the middle of so much stress, right? So you're in the middle of academics and stuff like that. So you wanted to find something positive to even out, the things that are happening, and I get that you find relationships to be, to help you, to support you, or to even most of all inspire you, right? So I get that. I for one have been not quite a victim. I guess maybe a victim of that kind of social dynamics of having to have the requirement of having a girlfriend. But then I understand where you're coming from, and I think not really having to regret anything, but it's more of like maybe if I have learned this idea of having the value of a person not based on where you have come. So for example, us, we have the privilege to be one of those lucky bastards who grew up in the right. So we grew up in a very very stable society wherein we're having to be blessed with different kinds of people, and having to have a diverse kind of culture with different nationalities, from Pakistanis to British people and American students, Indian, exactly. And there is so much stories in between, but anyway, going back to the main point here is that I guess having to find a relationship is a very important part. It's somewhat is important in the middle of you growing up individually, right? So and can you walk me through, like you said you were a party boy, and I can truly relate to those kind of stories. Can you tell me some of your stories when you were doing those stuff, and maybe I could share mine too. So yeah,
see where to start.
maybe some memorable ones first. Very memorable ones. Maybe your first time when you.
Yeah, it happened there. My first time happened there.
Uh-huh. Let's get it! Okay.
Get it on.
Let's get it on. Sabi nga, let's speak yung katotohanan lang. So we speak the truth only. Okay, go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's see.
Come on, there's nothing to be ashamed of this. This is the past, right? We grow from this,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Right.
Definitely not. Yeah. So, let's see. Question, bro.
Sure. Yeah.
Any specific question for you? From
Sure.
you?
Sure. Anything.
Uh,
Like, or are you asking me to ask you?
ask me.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me for a specific. Okay, okay. Sorry. My bad. So, maybe can you still remember your first time? First time when you went into your first club experience, or maybe when you can you tell me that the time that you lost your virginity, whatever.
Well, it was recently actually.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Uh, it was fun. We vibed, and
Okay.
yeah, she's hot. She's hot though. It's not the typical. Anyway, she's hot.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I can say. She had a
And you
good personality.
wait. Sorry. Can you go back a bit? Like, okay, I know she's hot. I understand that. But like, how did you meet her? Like, did you meet her from a friend of a friend? Maybe, I don't know. Just strangers. No connections at all. Just met.
Friend of a friend.
Oh, good. Okay. And how did that happen?
We were yeah, we were drinking, and then we got to chat eventually.
Mhm.
Then we vibed.
Okay.
Then we flirted. The basic
Process of relationship.
movie
Uh-huh.
scenario.
Right.
Movie
Boy meet
scenario.
girl and stuff like that. Uh-huh.
We meet girls, and vibe, laugh, flirt. Attraction happens. Then let's see. It happened happened that night. So let's see.
You don't need to say all of the details if you feel very uncomfortable, but I'm not really forcing you to do anything at all. But I think,
No, no.
uh-huh. And
People will relate.
right,
So,
definitely. And one thing that we need to practice is I know that I'm maybe trying to force you into things that you're not really or comfortable with, but I think we're still grown enough to, yeah.
yeah, well, I can share.
Right,
But,
good.
The thing is,
You cannot, right?
it happened.
You should not disclose her name, right?
No, of course not.
Right.
Of course not. Let's see. After we started, I think how that happened. I asked her. I
Okay.
was like tipsy, and I said like, "The fuck, man, what? This girl seems to be nice.
Okay.
Is hot, right?"
Wait, sorry.
And
Can you tell
I
me
just-
more about like her background? Like, is she an engineering student too, or was she a marketing student? Same age?
Can't remember though.
Uh,
I didn't. Yeah, a year older,
uh,
I guess.
from the
I
same
don't
same
know.
university? Different?
University, but I don't know her course.
Oh, I see.
She's on a different campus though.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, same university, different campus. So that what happened that night is I think I asked her, yeah, because things were getting hot, man. So like, eventually you need to move. You need to move.
Uh huh.
So
How was that?
yeah, I just asked her. Like my thought process there was, oh, dude, you're kind of drunk. You had enough. You have extra potion of confidence.
Uh huh.
Why don't you just ask?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of straightforward, but we were laughing because it would be weird if
You just made your
Ask her.
move, right? And then you didn't ask her, right? So the most important thing that you did,
kind of straightforward.
right?
It's kind of straightforward.
Definitely. Right.
So my thought, my mentality was like, man, you have nothing to lose you ask her, and she reacted negatively, you change topic. So yeah, I am already see, uh, what do you say? Calibrated to read the social cues uh, towards the person. Since I'm a marketing, of course, we have to
Gauge whether your client or the person that you're talking to is comfortable or not.
yeah.
Right.
We were taught to read the let's see social cues
Mhm.
or yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, well, it was she laughed surprisingly, and what was like,
I
she
still
really laughed.
I still can feel like you still missed that kind of vibe, and you still firmly
No, no, no.
remember everything.
We were laughing.
Right.
And she even laughed when I asked. Laughed even more when I asked. And then
Oh,
I
dear.
changed topic. As if
Okay.
nothing happened.
Okay.
And
Wait, can you tell me where was the location? So you were drunk, right? You were with this girl. You were in a club, right?
bar.
Bar. Okay.
It was a 50-50 club, 50
Ah, yeah.
bar.
Right.
So the thing is, there was like some sort of a outside area, like there was no, but there were
Right.
tables and there was a lot of music and it was dark enough to have a let's see romantic
Right.
setup,
Uh huh.
romance setup. All right. So yeah, the vibe was in favor of me. So it wasn't really let's see how could I mess this up, right? Type
Sorry, was it just the two of you, or was she with a friend?
no we she was oh she was what do you mean she was with the
Like, did she go there with a friend? Maybe.
no she was alone,
Oh, okay. Wow.
but we had mutual friends, so that made it easier because we had mutual friends.
Okay.
It made me look like I'm not a threat,
Okay.
so
I
made
see
things
you. I see you.
easier.
I see you.
Made things easier.
Right.
So,
And
yeah,
that happened, and then I just you just
Yeah.
did what you did. Right.
yeah, did what they did. Because before that happened, I was already in different adventures. Like alam mo naman, like sometimes in the bar you get to meet the girl and eventually when you vibe you just kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Have you have you met people being in that scenario?
No, actually, it's a very interesting part of our difference with the province life and the city life. I don't know if Bulacan still considered a city life. I don't know, but here,
It's
right,
in
mini,
Metro Manila.
right, kind of like that.
Particular.
But you can see the difference when you go clubbing in a place like Metro Manila, the central district of I don't know,
Yeah.
clubs and bars. So there are far different I don't know, dynamics with how they do their whole social thing. But if you try to compare the I don't know, confidence with people, I guess it's more of a I don't know. There's a difference with those two things. I don't know. I just quite can't tell it how exactly. So yeah.
So you're saying like having that mall in bars
Right.
you haven't with
I haven't tried that, but I've seen though when I met some of the guys like Gio and Gabe and stuff like that, Alan. There was this one time we had a mini reunion. I don't know. It was I think back in 2019. Oh no sorry, 2018. And we went to I think
I was
Taft.
there, right?
I think you were there. I don't know. But we no you won't.
I've never
You'd never seen it's like
I was not able to attend
Right.
because I had
some things to do. Right. But I think you heard of that. Right.
yeah, I was supposed to follow up, but,
Right.
I
Orvin was there. Just I don't know if you still remember Orvin. But yeah.
yeah,
So
I think he got fucked up that night.
right. He got really fucked up that
Yeah.
night. but I didn't really remember much of it because we were, too drunk to even remember. But yeah, I never seen that kind of, how people, momol and stuff like that. I didn't even understand that, and then I just saw it, and then I tried to understand, my experiences in Metro Manila and comparing it with our place in. I think it's far different. People here are just here for the fun, like the music and stuff like that. We're more of connected into one thing, which is the music. But then when we go there, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I think you understand what I'm trying to say, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's chill.
Right, chill, correct, chill.
So yeah, if let's see. I think Gio,
Mm-hmm.
Gio, RDL, Ian witnessed me in action.
Wow. Okay.
So if they were here right now,
Right.
they would really tell a fun story when we were together.
Can you retell that story?
Let's see. Yeah, it was a boys' night out.
Okay.
All girls from our high school. All
Oh.
girls, all boys.
Okay.
So we had our fun share and fun share of let's see, of meeting people on Gio's side because
He's quite a famous one.
Ian gave, yeah,
Right.
famous one, and they're regulars there sa top.
Mm-hmm.
So we were there.
Mhm.
Then there were this group of girls beside our table, and I was like the closest to them. And
Okay.
They were already drunk. Okay.
Okay.
So, this is not one of the girls that I've been
Yeah.
with. So, like,
Right. This is one of
they
your
were girls-
adventures.
adventures. It was just for fun.
Right.
And Gio was like, he was like, Darrel,
Kaya mo yan.
malapit ka dyan. Gio. Then, yeah, I talked to them.
Okay.
Then, I had a casual conversation.
Okay.
They were from UP Manila.
Wow.
Makes sense kasi it's kinda near the school, one train away or one jeep away
Mm-hmm.
from from Sherwoods.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we vibe, friends, and then that's it. We just made friends. It was just like my warm up,
Okay.
warm up
For the night.
for the
Okay.
night. Talking to the opposite sex
Okay.
and not feel
Awkward.
awkward. Yeah. That's
Okay.
something that most guys should
Practice. Correct.
uh, you're
Confidence.
in the dating.
Right. Confidence.
Yeah. Actually, in confidence, you can just fix it in just one night or an hour. You just have to,
Drink booze.
drink booze or have a routine that makes you feel confident. Or
Wow, okay.
listen to music before you enter the venue. That makes you feel cool.
Okay.
And besides, like, let's see, during the time, yeah, I was already warmed up enough. I was there.
Okay.
I was my wingman.
Okay.
So during the time let's see, I went solo. So the boys were drinking there.
Okay.
She was giving shots to different people, and there was this girl somewhere in the corner. I just approached her
Mm-hmm.
and started talking. I can't remember what I said, but I was talkative. Objective was to maintain the attention.
Okay.
So I was drunk. I didn't remember. So it was just like, okay, you got the attention. Now try to prolong it until she becomes comfortable. Until she
Okay.
opens up. So,
Okay.
yeah, that was like my thought process, even though I was already kind of drunk.
Okay.
But my brain, luckily, was still working. It's still working, right? Even though I was drunk. So it's just like, okay, we can do this slow.
Okay.
Talk it up. Keep her interested. So, ayun. Buti na lang, like, there was some part in the interaction where it was kinda dull na.
Okay.
Buti Gio came. to give some shots,
Okay.
and Mel was there to accompany. Mel
Okay.
was a good wingman,
Okay.
and there it had a kind of reset interaction
Mm-hmm.
until yeah, we did the deed. Eventually, we did the deed. It was just the two of us.
And then
So, and then yeah, we ate some burgers.
what?
We went.
You got sober? You got sober and then you ate. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got sober and then you ate burger, right?
No, we
Maybe.
were still drunk.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
10 to 15 minutes of the interaction. It was hot. We went down to eat burgers,
Okay. And
and then while during that 15-minute window of interaction, we went down to eat burger, and I heard Gio, Ian were in a fight, a club fight.
okay.
A club. They were in club mode.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they were fighting na.
Why?
Pinento ba nila?
No, 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 no. I didn't hear. I didn't hear this.
So yeah, they were in a fight club scenario.
Okay. And what did you do?
Bar fight.
Right.
I was there, still making out with the girl. I was there because I was drunk,
Oh shit. I mean,
and I was
I think most guy would agree with me when I see my friends, getting into a fight and then you won't even bother, right, helping them. Just instead went your way and had that amazing, I don't know, experience with that girl. I don't know, you fucked up guy. But
yeah. So like after that, I just said, "Oh, they will understand." Pero like, to be honest, at the time I was like kind of drunk.
right,
Talaga.
right.
If I try to fight, I will lose.
Right, definitely. So you had this small talk with yourself. No, 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 don't do it, right? Because you're too drunk to even fight for them. Okay,
Yeah.
that's bright actually.
Because I am far away from home, so like
Right.
if anything happens,
You're fucked.
it's a bad setup.
Right,
Bad setup. If I get hurt,
you're dead.
No one might let's see, bring me to the hospital or something if something happens.
Right. Damn.
But yeah, and another thought process was Ian is there, the Hulk is there.
Ah,
They
okay.
can handle it. Ian was like so
You're right.
during that time.
He was into gym and stuff like that, so they could take
So
it.
they were like,
Yeah, they could take it by
and
themselves.
Alan and Gabe was there.
Ah,
Alan and Gabe was there. Ariel also.
okay.
But the thing is, after my interaction with the girl, I went up.
Okay.
It was just Gio and Ian who were in a fight.
And then?
And then, let's see, Alan, I think, was taking care of Gabe. Oh, and then, I was for Ariel.
Oh.
One of them was vomit.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So they were not in the fight.
Yeah, so I'm just guessing that they were in the fight because, I don't know, they met some guy and then they bumped into one another and I don't know. Did you still remember why did they fight?
No. Because I was with the girl.
Right,
I
right.
didn't,
You didn't bother asking them the next day.
no. After that,
Okay.
right, the night is already closed. So the bar was closed and we got together. I was congratulated by the girls that I talked to earlier tonight.
Why?
They were with the
Oh!
UP girls, right?
Right.
Beside our table. So let's see. We'll just rewind. For
Okay, sure.
Earlier in the interaction with the girls from UP, there were like 4 or 5 of them. One was still standing and drinking.
Okay.
3 or 4 were sleeping already.
Okay.
So there were like 3 big bottles. 3
Left.
three big jars
Bottles.
of cocktail
Oh, okay.
at table. Yeah, and she's the only one standing.
Okay.
So I just like piped with her, and then took shared the drinks with Ala with the boys.
Okay.
Boys helped the girl finish her drink.
Okay.
There were 3 big liters of bottle.
Okay.
So ayun.
Tower.
Like,
Is it the tower? The tower one? The
no,
thing?
it's just one liter.
Like a.
lang.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Cocktail. So there were 3 of them, and she's just one. When she finished it, sayang.
Tama. Tama.
So yeah, I asked her if we could share or help you finish na lang the drink.
Mm-hmm.
So like I kind of introduced sila Gabe, Alan, Ariel, the girl, the
Okay.
boys. the
Okay.
girl.
Yeah.
So ayun, they shared drinks, and then I went solo. I went out of the table. And
Okay.
walked somewhere. Roamed around the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, until I met the girl. So yeah,
I
fast
see.
forward, I was already with the girl.
Okay.
We were making out in public. And yeah, at some point, girls from UP saw me in action, and then when the night ended, when the bar closed,
Mm-hmm.
the boys were with the girls from UP somewhere downstairs in Sherwood. They
Mhm.
were nakatambay lang sila.
Okay.
So when I came, when I ended my interaction with the girl, I went down to see boys, and they were with the girls from UP, and the girls from UP congratulated me.
Wow.
Nice, this like nice.
You did a very good job in trying to isolate
Yeah,
them.
they
Right. Right. They acknowledge
Yeah.
your actions that night. So, yeah, I see. I got the whole story.
The girls from UP were cool.
Right.
They were cool.
Very cool. So, yeah. So that was one of your most unforgettable moments, I guess, in the whole phase of trying to socialize with people
that-
in bars. Right.
Yeah, that's one of many.
Right. One of
So,
many.
yeah. Yeah, one of many.
So maybe you can
But
share
it's,
some of
the
them.
highlight.
One of the highlights, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, but that's one of the highlights worth sharing. With,
Right.
Anyway, sila Gabe, Alan, they will relate this one if they come back to the podcast.
Right. Definitely. I think I don't worry. I don't second guess or even find any blind spots in that story. But I think I for one would say that you really had fun that night, as well as the other guys. I wish I could join some of your adventures with one of the boys. But as we all know, I've been isolated with the whole situation with the college thing. So
You had to hustle, bro.
right.
I've seen your progress in Facebook. Sabi ko, man,
What do you
Reyes is
mean?
already
Vibing.
leveling up. He's doing the adult life.
Right. So it's really interesting how we.
In Hong Kong. Macau?
Oh yeah. So I had a girlfriend for the
Yeah.
past few years, right? And we went to trips. So she was actually studying for her board exams, and then after that, we had to, she had a job, and then I wasn't really that excelled into my academics, but I found my ways in trying to save up money. So right, so when we were talking about relationships, we were talking about earlier how we invest things into relationship, and it's quite expensive. And for this one, it is really expensive since it's taking money from your pocket. That's why I did part-time jobs in trying to find my career as well in filmmaking business. So I went weddings and stuff, so I could really save up money to this kind of specific event that she wanted and I wanted to. So not really Macau. We went to Taiwan first, and then second we went to Singapore quite recently, actually last year. And it was really, one of the, maybe, yes, it's a good story achievement, I guess, would say. But I didn't really feel like it was a good one because, um, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it. It's just that taking the intention behind it is just like, you're taking money from your parents. It just doesn't feel justified with that kind of sense. But yeah, maybe it's just
Need
something
to
that I realized.
side hustle
Right,
yeah, you needed to side hustle just to be with your girl, right?
right, right. So I mean, it was really a good experience, and I really recommend for anyone to experience that kind of thing. But then again, the whole relationship just is something that I had because it wasn't intentional. I guess it's more of like a coincidence into my life. I didn't really expect to be having a girlfriend in my college life. It just happened. I was just, it was my friend, and then I was really interested in her. She didn't really have a very, you know, big background. I just really found like she's a interesting, individual, and then I tried to
You
understand
were
vibing, as you call it, right? And then
you're on the same level.
right, and but she wasn't really interesting enough back when we met. I was an engineering student, and then she was a pharmacy student, and I saw her accidentally because our booth for enrollment was actually transferred from the engineering department to their school. So I was so scared in going through those halls with people in uniforms, and I was so stressed because whenever I see anyone in uniform, I feel like everyone's just so high up in the social ladder, and I feel like so trash. But then,
Intimidated. You were
all right,
intimidated.
I feel like so intimidated. But anyway, I just did what I need to do. So when I was, encoding my subjects for that day, I saw her pass by with her group of friends, and then, the typical scene when you feel like slow motion thingy, and then you feel like you're so into that, yeah, that one girl that you feel like everything is isolated. You can just see one person within that corridor with hundreds of people in there. And then I just said to my friend, who is a pharmacy girl, so I told her, do you know that girl there? And then she said, oh yes, she's one of our batchmates, and can you get her the number, and maybe I could hook up with, maybe we get to know one another and stuff like that. And then I stalked her. Found her Facebook, and then I just, chatted her, and that's how it began. And then I asked her. It was really an interesting topic. So just a side story. I don't want to bore you that much, but I just told her, "Hey, do you
Thing is,
wanna?"
I
Right.
never heard your story.
Right. Then it's
Even
okay.
though
It's
we
okay.
were together
For
3 years ago,
right.
I already met her. No.
Did you?
Met her through text.
Oh,
She
I
was
see.
calling me to tell you to go home.
Really?
Yeah, we were having our boys' night out with Mark. Ano? Yeah, with Mark.
Oh,
3 years ago,
right.
2017.
Right. So that time,
So, like,
right. So yeah, if you that's one of the phases that I quite, wanted to forget. Those kinds of moments that I feel restricted from having just fun with reconnecting with my friends, just like what we're doing right now. So yeah, so that whole phase happened, and then I just chatted her that hey, do you want to go out? And then she said, aren't you afraid that I'm a terrorist, maybe? And I was like, oh damn, this woman has a good sense of humor. And then okay, and then I went with her, and then I was just like you. I was trying to find my confidence, and I found my confidence in clothing. So I tried to dress up as the best that I can. So I found all of the, my formal clothes. I even wear a chaleco, that inner vest thing, to make you even, get an edge to it. And then I wore my suit, and then I was really at my, edge. I was doing my best to impress this woman. And then, funny enough, when I met her, so I said, "Do you want to go out and watch a movie?" And then she said, "Sure." And then I'll bring my friend with me so that things won't be awkward and stuff like that. So I brought my friend. I brought my friend. We went to the cinema, and then when we met, when she came, and I was so surprised. Like she wasn't even wearing anything, to impress me. She was actually still in her, casual clothes, 3/4.
Yeah.
Uh, oh my god. Sorry, my cat just. It's just a little cat now. But anyway, she came in, and then she was just normal, and I was like so at the edge of everything that I have just to impress someone, and then she was just just chilling, and I figured, man, I was a dumbass like back then, but anyway, that happened, and then the rest is just history and stuff like that. So anyway, let me just go back to the whole thing that we were talking about was this relationship. By the way, how are you? Like, are you still okay? Like, do you feel like uncomfortable, or do you want some water or something?
No,
Good?
all good.
All good, good. Right, so maybe just to wrap some things up, do you have any maybe questions or maybe something to share, I guess?
Let's see. College is fun.
Right?
Explore while you can.
Definitely.
But
And
like,
mhm.
well, on my side, like I kind of regret not having a girlfriend, but I had to stick to what I said a few years ago.
Right.
That if I will not have a girlfriend when I'm already self-sufficient. I mean,
Mm.
even before being self-sufficient, you should not have a girlfriend.
Right. So you're still dependent into your family or parents and stuff like that. And yeah, I definitely understand what you're trying to say there. But and that's one thing. That's one thing. But there are multiple things that we should consider. Like for example, of course, if you're ready. When we say you're ready, like you're emotionally or maybe mature enough to handle a relationship. Because if you're trying to engage into something, a relationship is also a responsibility, right? It's just like what you have with your academics, you have a responsibility to another person. And if you're not responsible enough to your own self, then you can't be responsible for another person. Definitely, right? So one thing is you should check yourself first, right? And right, so
And
that's very good.
know your place in this life,
Definitely.
and know your face actually.
Right.
So like going back to my first experience, I just found myself kinda like I want to stick to this lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
getting one night stands, having this adventures.
Mm-hmm.
I just during those times I felt like I want to do it more. It makes me feel like see what it, I wanted to consolidate what I never had in high school and the few years that I've been in college. Like I want to buhos
Right.
it right now.
Right.
Like into one night stands.
Because right.
Have a hub or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I've never had those experiences in high school or nung my early years in college. So it's like
Right.
I wanted that lifestyle.
And I think you had it,
So,
right? And you really did
So
your
it was just once. So
Right.
then pandemic happened, so it's like kind of delayed.
yeah, it's a bummer that you had that. So yeah, you can really think of like you can only go to college once and you can have the same or not really replicate any memory. So you have to be 100% with anything that you're doing. So yeah, really interesting enough that you're
In college, you'll never be 100% with anything.
right, and you can't be 100% certain, but maybe it's more of like how you put something into action. So when we right, so it's really interesting where we are right now with this current pandemic, and right now I'm actually working in a marketing department. It's very for a real estate company, and I can really truly say that marketing is a really interesting field for anyone. So growing up and trying to finish up college the middle of the pandemic, right before the whole thing happened, I was really fortunate enough to just like what you said earlier, the institution that you were they were just passing students, but in our case it wasn't really. So we were still doing our thesis in the middle of the pandemic and stuff like that. So anyway, after I graduated, I think May, was it May? I forgot, but Anyway, after I graduated, I found, you know, multiple jobs online. There are so many, you know, so many offers. You could just send out your resume and stuff like that. And I was fortunate enough to have a position in a ESL company. That's why I'm trying to communicate better by trying to, you know, enhance or hone my skills in communicating. And I tried to be, you know, a broadcaster or journalist maybe, but then that didn't happen. Right. So I was an intern in a PTV, and it wasn't really a big thing actually. It was a very detrimental part of my growth. But then I said maybe I wanted to explore more of the corporate side, and I know it's a thing that people won't think of, but I for one wanted to just try and understand what are the inner workings of being in a corporate life. And yeah, that's it. And I think really marketing is a very good field. There marketing wouldn't be like a you would survive definitely with all of this whole thing happening in the middle of pandemic. You can still market yourself if you are good at marketing. You could definitely survive because every individual could sell something by their own. So say for example, maybe some thoughts, maybe some food products, anything, services.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So yeah,
It's a if it's a broad it's a broad
exactly. It's a broad field. Right. So you could go from engineering to law to to medicine, right? So you could just jump to any field at all and just help them grow their own company or business, right? Great. Anyway, the final questions. Good.
How have you been doing?
Should have been the start of our conversation, but yes, I'm doing fine. Lately I've been really alcoholic. Well,
I wish I
well, yeah. I mean,
been
it's
sober
just
for a month.
right. So it's been a very, very tough, you know, few months. Although it's been I've been really grateful for everything that had happened. You know, it just started. I think August. My cat died. My grandmother died. My relationship died. um, yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, thank you so much. I think I wasn't really much affected by it because I was trying to pick myself. Like I was trying to endure the process of having to cope up with death and stuff like that. And then never have ever occurred to me to even think of death when it comes to, you know. I don't know if you quite understood that, but I tried to think of death as something that it's a part of life. But then when it come to me in a very specific scenario, you feel like, oh damn, this is really happening, right? It's really gone, right? So I don't know. It just feels like it's a shitty month, although it's been a very blessed month too to have the promotion and stuff like that. So maybe I'm just trying to be, you know, alcoholic because I'm trying to cope up with sleeping, because one of the most major part of my life right now is actually having to have a good sleep, since I've been really woke with all the news and all of trying to adjust with graveyard shift, because my company is actually working in the United States and in Texas, so we have to shift with graveyard. So and it's really been tough since you when you sleep, right? So when you're about to sleep, it's like 8 a.m., 7 a.m., and people are just noisy because there's a construction happening, so you can't really sleep with that kind of scenario. So I have to be, you know, at that kind of tormented scenario of not really having to be able to find sleep better. So I've been dealing with insomnia for quite some time now, and I'm trying to
Like,
yeah.
indoor workout.
Yeah, I do. I tried one of those, but knowing myself, I'm not quite, you know, how do you say, into those kind of stuff. But I tried. Don't worry. I tried at the beginning of the pandemic. I actually did 1 month of consistent workouts, and it was really fulfilling. And I saw the benefit of that, and then it really helped me
It helps you like,
sleep
yeah,
better.
it will drain your extra energy.
Exactly. But the thing is,
You,
at the end of the day after work, I'm really physically exhausted by doing all the work. But then my mind is just constantly working, and then it just can't sleep. I guess it's how I could express it. But anyway, for the past few days, I've just been planning to actually move to our province in Pangasinan. So me and my sisters actually tomorrow we're planning to get our health form, I don't know, declaration form, so we could travel and get our whole travel pass finished, and we'll be packing as well. And by Tuesday in evening, we'll be moving from Baguio to Pangasinan, hopefully for the next few months. And I don't even know where to go after that, because we're trying to save up money since the rent here is too far. Too high, expensive to even pay, and our parents are not really that I'd say stable enough to find money and provide more for us. Even though I'm working and they have still some amount of income, but as much as we wanted to save up money, we can't really afford to have this kind of 9K rent for the next few months. So we decided to transition from here to there. So yeah, that's just it for the past few
And
months.
it's much safer kasi,
Right.
because you're with your family, right?
Right.
With relatives.
And it's much cheaper, safer, since we're not exposed to anyone remote. When we go there, we're more remote, and it's much more a conducive environment for working. And I'm just concerned maybe with the internet, I guess. And with the food, of course, we have farm there, so we could just be supplied with foods with unlimited, I don't know, maybe, or limited supplies. Right. So anyway,
Limited rice.
unlimited rice. Asians, right?
Yeah.
Unlimited rice is what our go-to. And anyway, so yes, maybe just to wrap up, we just talked about, again, thank you so much, bro, Comrade. A legend here is amid our presence. Darrel, I've been this has been really, really fun. And I hope that we could connect more, maybe sometime again soon. I'm trying to make more of this series with different of our, with, most of our high school batchmates. And I'm trying to connect with maybe the other guys too. So maybe we could reconnect and try to understand more of like what is our situation right now. And maybe our listeners and audience could relate to that too. Especially we're in a different country, and maybe they could get some insights and lessons too with our experiences. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, listeners and viewers. Right. I'm really happy to even have you again. Maybe sometime again soon. And right. So maybe that's it for our episode today. And please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell for more updates. And I'll see you next time. Peace.